Well, the Titans get somewhat of a mini bye week as they have Thursday Night Football, so they get a little extra rest before they take on the Bucs this upcoming Sunday. But before that happens, let's talk about some free agent targets that I think the Titans should go after here. As with the trade deadline passed, maybe it's time that Ran Carthon goes out there and looks for somebody to go sign and maybe help this team out, help Will Levis grow into the quarterback that I think he could be. Now, here's what I want you to do. If you like the free agents that I put out here today that I think the Titans should sign, then do me a favor, share the video. Get it out there to your Titans friends, to your Titans fans, because we're trying to grow Titans today. And the best way to do that, sharing it to more Titans fans, growing the Titans Today community. We have a good time here. I like to think we put out some of the best Titans content on all of YouTube. And if you agree and you like these free agent targets, well, share the video with some of your friends. Let's start with these free agent targets. We're going to go through 5 today, with the first one being La'el Collins, as he is formerly with the Cincinnati Bengals. Free agent this year. There's been talks about him going to a ton of different teams, and I think the Titans could be a very good fit for him. Last year, he played almost 1,000 snaps. That's a good thing right there already from an offensive lineman perspective. He only allowed 5 sacks, 7 hits, 22 hurries, and the PFF run grade, that's pretty good. When it's above 70, that means you're doing all right for my standards, and overall, I think this could be a really good sign for the Titans because they need an offensive lineman. That's been kind of one of their positional needs throughout this season. There's not really one that I think stands out in terms of like trading for. That's why they didn't do it. But I think La'el could be an easy sign. The cap space could fit there, and the sacks haven't been great. I mean, you already have your bye week, right? So you've had a week off, and yet you're still 4th in sacks allowed in the NFL. The Giants obviously lead that with 49. Commanders and Bears slightly above that, or around there, and then Titans are right there at 29 sacks allowed. Part of me thinks that's just because Ryan Tannehill is not athletic and isn't a quarterback anymore, and yet we still play him. But I think Will Levis may be helping with that. Either way, offensive tackle could really be a position that would help this team, which is why I think the second free agent target could be Andrew Norwell. Now, he's been a guy who has been on the free agent market this season. I think not a lot of people have looked at him just because of La'el Collins being at the top of the list. But he's done really well in his career as well. Last year with the Commanders in 16 games, he only had 4 sacks allowed. He only allowed 4 hits. He only had 21 hurries. Now, the reason that I think La'el Collins is, let's just say, the first choice when it comes to offensive line help in the free agency market is because of that run block grade. Andrew Norwell, it's a little below 60 just by 0.1, which I don't necessarily like that, especially when you have a guy like Derrick Henry. You want to make sure that that run block grade is really good. That's why I think La'el Collins is probably better than Andrew Norwell. But still, the fact that he can protect a quarterback really well, the sacks, hits, and hurries are all right there with La'el. I like this a lot. I think this could be a really good signing. And honestly, it could be a guy you could get for a 2-3 year deal, keep him on the line for a little bit, for pretty cheap, I would have to think. Do you think the Titans, though, could have a chance to make the playoffs if they could sign somebody? I kind of am on the bridge here because their record is unfortunate just because 3-5 is tough. If you win that game this past Thursday against Steelers, you're 4-4, and you're looking up and bright to potentially make a wild card spot. Now I think you're in more of a tough position, but let me just ask you a theoretical question. Reset the season. Will Levis starts the entirety of the season. Does the Titans have a chance to make the playoffs? If you think so, then type Y for yes. Or if you think, nah, it'd probably be still in the same place, then I want you to type in for no. Let me know in the comment section of today's video. I'm thinking that this could be a really interesting topic to kind of explore to see maybe if Mike Vrabel made the wrong decision by keeping Ryan Tannehill as QB1. All right, the next free agent we're going to talk about is a wide receiver, and it's Jarvis Landry. Now, on a lot of free agency ranks, he ranks atop that list. And it's easy to see why because, listen, he has been a reliable receiver in the NFL for quite some time now. Now this season, he's in the free agency market, which is funny because not only is Jarvis Landry reliable, but so is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the #1 daily fantasy sports site, and it's the only place that I go to play DFS. It is the largest skill-based real money daily fantasy sports game in North America. And here's the best part. With basketball season now in full swing, it's the perfect time to start on Prize Picks, as you can pick a combo projection across the NBA and NFL. So, for instance, you could pick exactly what I did and do the more on, say, Cade Cunningham on points and rebounds and assists. Along with Monday Night Football tonight, I'm going more on Justin Herbert on passing yards and Breece Hall on rushing yards. I like these a lot. I mean, I like that you can kind of combo now with the NBA and NFL. So now on Monday Night Football, you're not limited to just that one game. You can go in the NBA and pick one up, which is what I did. I like the Herbert with the more on passing yards. He's got to face Sauce Gardner, but I think he's going to get 250. And then Breece, there's no way he doesn't get more than 60 yards. Cunningham, he may get that in points, 34.5. No way he doesn't do that. PrizePicks is also offering a reboot policy so that even if one of your players gets injured, your entry will stay in place. So, for instance, for that football and basketball injury, if, say, Cade Cunningham gets hurt in the first half, or Breece Hall gets hurt in the first half and then does not return in the second, well, that player will be rebooted for me, and that's really awesome because PrizePicks is the only daily fantasy sports platform with an injury insurance policy. Quick withdrawals and easy gameplay and enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes PrizePicks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. Again, CLNS is your code, prizepicks.com/CLNS, a free $100 deposit match. Shout out to PrizePicks. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. Okay, here's why I think Jarvis Landry could be a good choice and why he's been Mr. Reliable. He just kind of has been solid over the past couple years. He's been in the league. 2019 was obviously his best year, probably when he was most healthy. Obviously, they're playing 16 games of the season, over 1,000 receiving yards, 83 receptions. But still, you know this if you watch this show for the time. I'm an average guy, and look at that average. It's still above 10, even last year when he played just 9 games. I like what I've seen from Jarvis Landry, and with Treylon Burks kind of having the injury bug this year with the knee injury, now having that scary head injury, Jarvis could be a big choice. There are some other wide receivers you can go after. I think that it could be an interesting opportunity to go explore for this Titans team. You got DeAndre Hopkins, but there's always time for improvement. Westbrook-Keeney has been good. Treylon has been good. Phillips has honestly been a really decent surprise. But if you go out there, maybe get some needed wide receiver help. You can get Sammy Watkins, T.Y. Hilton. Kenny Golladay still free agent? I mean, yeah, he didn't perform well with the Giants, but you got to remember what he'd done in his career. He could be a really key thing. Marcus Callaway and Bryan Edwards are also in there. There's a lot of guys that I think are worthy of being on an NFL roster. Maybe just go call them, see what you can get. I think Ran Carthon, go out there and see what exactly they would be asking for. Make sure you're subscribed to Titans Today. We're getting out Titans videos, Titans content, Titans breaking news, Titans daily news, whatever you want based on the Tennessee Titans. We're going to have it for you right here on Titans Today. As I promise you, there's no better place to go for your Titans news, rumors, everything all in one place. Make sure you're subscribed. It would make me happy, and oh yeah, it would also help grow the Titans Today community. The fourth free agent target is a name that you probably have heard of, Ndamukong Suh. And if you think that he's been talked about as a free agent for a long time, that's because he kind of has been. He's been in and out of markets, but you can't lie with the resume. Had the Eagles, Bucks, Rams, Dolphins, and Lions. He's a 5-time Pro Bowler, along with a Super Bowl champion. So, what's stopping somebody from signing this guy? Well, maybe his stats for the past year. 2022 was not exactly the greatest year, but getting up in age with defensive tackles is a little harder. But the fact that he played 16 games in 2019, 2020, and 17, 2021, that's nice. And obviously 8 games last year because of the whole free agency thing. Ndamukong Suh wants to join a team. I mean, he said this earlier this year, saying, "Where's the fit right? Where's the right opportunity? Where can I go and add value? I don't just want to sit there and watch other guys be successful, have options, that's the key, and make decisions from there." So he wants to come back. He just wants to make sure it's the right place. My mind, I think he's probably gotten some offers, but he just hasn't deemed them exactly ready for him and what his situation he would want to be. I think it could be a good signing, though. Add depth to this defensive line with Jeffrey Simmons. The fifth guy I want to talk about is Desmond King. And I think this one may be the most logical one to go after just because you traded Kevin Byard, and the secondary is a little bit, I'm not going to say weak, but it would be nice to add an extra cornerback on top of that. It could help out. really a lot of things. But here's the 5 guys that I think the Titans could or should sign. What do you think about this list? Should the Titans sign one of these guys? If you think so, then type S for sign. If you think, Jace, you're totally off base, we don't need any of these guys, it's a downhill season, we're just going to tank anyway, no point in wasting money, then type P for pass. Or if you just want to pass in general, type P for pass. S for sign if you think one of these guys deserves to be on the Titans roster. Let's go more in depth here on Desmond King. So he previously played for the Chargers, Titans, Texans, and Steelers. Texans is where he made a little bit more of his name. First team All-Pro in 2018, and then he was released by the Steelers on October 18th. And it's a guy that really would fit with this Titans defense and honestly Mike Vrabel's defensive style. Guy who, I don't want to say is similar to Kevin Byard. Obviously, don't play exactly the same position, but he kind of is that body type, that athletic ability, that agility level of Kevin Byard. Has a little bit of a wider frame with the shoulders, and his stats are not bad. A couple interceptions this past year and in 2021. The breakups are there, and the tackles, you don't really want tackles from a cornerback just because probably allowing more passes, but at the same time, he's getting them down if they're catching it. It could be a good opportunity to go explore. I think this one may be on the back of it, but it's weird. I think cornerback is maybe the position that makes most sense just to help out with this secondary, but I think it also, with Desmond King, would be a little bit harder to go about. We appreciate you watching today's video. We're going to be active all week giving you a preview for the Bucs, making sure we're updating you on injuries on both Treylon Burks, Ryan Tannehill. As Mike Vrabel said, tomorrow he will tell us the full update on Ryan Tannehill and who he maybe expects to start this upcoming Sunday. Well, that's a big decision. We'll have it for you right here. Make sure you like the video today. It's going to help us, going to help you, and most importantly, it's going to help this Titans Today community and the Titans grow in their fan base. As always, tighten up and peace out.